okay.
bad.
It wasn't too bad at all.
Hello.
You could even put a snake like right here.
You don't think I will? I'll put
I
one.
know.
But
The Georgia white snake.
I know. Do
Oh,
y'all?
but I gotta sit up because always see
Here, that's the thing.
Yeah.
We'll tweak that next time. Don't worry about it. But now we just have to work on getting it down in the frame.
What's
Down
up,
on the
people?
farm. You know I'm gonna fuck with it just one time.
Yep. There it is. Because I'm wearing my Georgia stuff.
Yay!
Georgia.
What's up, guys? How is everybody's day? I'm trying to think of something pithy to say, like other people who open their streams like with cool stuff to say. You know what I mean?
But I didn't even see. There's already people like talking, and we didn't see it.
Hey,
at all.
Brenda,
There it
Karen,
is.
how are y'all?
Clancy. Hey, Clancy. Karen.
Let me tell you
Supermod
guys.
Karen. Supermod Let It Go.
It is super hot in here because once again I criticized Sean's cute little fire.
So I built the fire.
So he went out back. He collected some.
Yep. Only the remnants of the, but it does. Like if it was really, like if we lost power or something, it would warm this. It would be nice in here.
Yeah, it's toasty. Let me just say
toasty.
it's a toasty one in
Thank you
here.
very much. Clancy's chewing him some Red Man chewing tobacco. He said.
I didn't I read what I could
What's
when
up,
it came
XO?
down, but I couldn't see what the rest of what he was saying.
I read XO just before we went live. He posted something about being able to be your most comfortable self or whatever.
Oh, that's very cool.
I did. I just gave that
Very
one of
cool.
these.
That is like the
Yup.
best thing
I mean, my
ever.
hair is everywhere. I don't care.
We today it's funny. I joined
Hey Rose.
this it looks like it's backwards, but it's not. Is
It
there
might be. Let me see.
You'll see like a
No, there's a tag.
Okay, so we're good. The charity that it's a long story, but I was initiated today because I joined it because I believe in being of service and giving back to the community. For real, I do. I'm not even trying to be funny, but so they said there was initiation, and I was like, "You gonna shave my head?"
Yeah, Brenda. There's definitely something going around. Brenda says she feels like she's coming down with something.
Yeah, I haven't felt good in the last couple of days.
Like when I built the fire and Mandi was in a sweatshirt and she changed and I was like, being arrogant and I was like, yeah, you better change out of that sweatshirt. My fire just warmed the whole house up, and she said that it was because you didn't feel so good.
Well, I haven't felt good in a couple of days. I've been like a little bit dizzy at this time both days and a headache, and I took the COVID test yesterday and it was negative. I was like, what about the days before there were COVID tests? When you used to just get sick and then you were just sick until you got better, or you went to the doctor because you needed help. Like now you have a test.
No.
And then if it says it's positive, you're like, okay. Right?
But if you're not testing, I'm not going to test because I didn't feel good, but I'm okay.
And it wasn't even like just a little bit of only one line. It was like one line at all. It's kind of like on the pregnancy test when you're taking a home pregnancy test and you see the faint second line. Now, depending whether or not you're ready or it's a surprise, but even if there's a faint little second line, you're positive. But then you like I said, whether you're excited or not excited, you're looking at the instructions and you're looking at it, you're like, okay, no, it's just one. Well, there's a little bit of a line. What do you think?
And it's not like you can sit there and go, I don't know how that happened, because you know how it happened.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's all up to your circumstance in life, where you're at.
Hey, Kay. Kay is here. Kay Barnett is here. Hi.
Hello. I even use my inhaler. It's just kind of.
Yeah, you do seem like you're feeling a little yucky.
But it's okay.
It's great
I
to
feel
be
better.
a Georgia Bulldog.
Did y'all see them completely?
They dismantled TCU 65-7. I was about like ready to go live after the game. Mandy's like, no.
But your dad agreed that TCU is notoriously not very good. So how they made it all the way to the state champ. I'm sorry for those who are, but how TCU made it to the.
Okay, so.
He's going to break down what they won.
They weren't even ranked at the beginning of the year, not in the top 25 at all.
So was it good luck?
They were 5-7 last year. Even the starter that ended up runner-up for the Heisman, Max Duggan, wasn't even starting quarterback at the beginning of the year. He wasn't even starting. He lost his job. So they just won and won. And after you get to like 10-0 or whatever, there's no one else is undefeated. There's only a few teams undefeated. So they were up there because they were 10-0.
See, Sean can break down exactly how it happened. And I'm not,
So
it's
in
a good
Kansas
thing.
State, they didn't even win their conference championship. Kansas State actually beat them. That was their first loss, but they kept them in there at number 4 or number 3.
So I think it uploaded. I saw the notification drop down.
The notification came right when we came on.
I don't know what this means. Sean, did you watch the Nets? Hakimi came to watch the game.
Let me see. What do you mean, like the French guy? Who's Hakimi? There's this French kid that's everybody's watching. He's like this 18-year-old French guy.
And he plays football?
No, the Nets is the NBA, the New Jersey Nets.
Well, there you go. He's the best one to answer it because I didn't even know what those words meant.
The Nets, Hakeem. They came to watch, I guess, the football game.
Oh. 2 soccer players.
I did not know.
We didn't know that, but now he does.
A France guy and a Moroccan.
Oh.
Well, I'm a Jets fan, Jude said. I'll sit down and be quiet now. The Jets it's okay, Jude. The Jets, they need to figure it out. They're drafting a quarterback like every other year. You know, they had Sam Darnold, who's now the Panthers starting quarterback.
Oh, it's Aziz. We need to unblock Aziz. He's under a different name.
Oh.
He gets. I heard he's been thrown out of the other camp.
Are you, Aziz?
You coming back?
Have you played enough games?
Do you have
Aziz?
your hat in your hand? I will. I'll unblock.
Anyway, Jude, it's okay to be a Jets fan. They were actually pretty good this year, but they're still.
Is it over?
What, the
NBA start?
No, the Jets. She said the Nets, but then she said the Jets.
But is basketball season over?
No.
I was gonna say, what is
for college? They're about to start March Madness.
What is their like Super Bowl?
It's just the NBA Finals. They have a big.
They don't have a great big.
They have the 1 through 8 seed, and then then they have 8, then they're down to 4, then they're down to 2, like that.
Yes. I have to say I like most sports. Basketball, they just run up and down, up and up and down, up and down. And Sean's like, if you got paid millions of dollars to run up and down.
That's how it went. I said, so what if I came home and said, they're going to pay me $3 million a year to play basketball? Mandy'd be like, you can go run up
and down. And up and down.
down.
And you hear their shoe squeak.
Yeah.
Especially during COVID when there wasn't big crowds. You can hear their shoes squeak when they run up and down and up and down.
Exo says, so some guy just hired me to be his personal mechanic.
Nice.
And help him haul lumber to. That's good, dude.
Very nice.
That's good.
Make sure you're
Stay on your grind, brother.
Make sure you're asking for the wage you want, because in this day and time, people need to pay for your talent and your experience for sure. The trades, like what do you call is it the service trades, like mechanics and
like labor? Yeah, there are services, but they're like skilled labor.
Right.
Skilled labor.
They're saying that people like private care and health care and mechanics that are working privately, they really need to start asking for a decent amount that's worth how much they know and that they can live off of.
But see, everybody has a different opinion of that.
He'll pay you a grand a week.
Yeah,
all right,
good. Yeah.
right on.
Mm-hmm. That grand a week is good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Especially with the Bambino on the way.
Yep. A grand a week is still good. That's still good. When I was growing up, when I was a teenager,
exactly,
the golden, $100,000 a year was good when I was a kid. Like, it's like 200,000 now.
Yeah.
It took not. I mean, 100,000 is still good, but you haven't made it. It's like you're not comfortable.
I remember when my dad got his master's and got a job at it used to be called Minerth Martell and Wilson. It was a Christian-based psychotherapy clinic. So there was a couple of psychiatrists, and then they had the therapists, and they were Christian based, and he got a job there. You're hitting the thing. He got a job there, and I remember that was getting paid $45,000 a year. Like, that was how much they offered. And I remember my mom was like, oh my gosh, she's like, I don't know what to do with that much money. And that wasn't that long ago.
Well, so that would be the 70s, right? Or the 80s,
86 or 87, something like that.
Yep.
But the house that they bought brand new was like $85,000, and that was like
in Austin too.
Well, yeah, right on the outskirts. But
I remember about right when I was about to retire, and then I retired, and I was telling my dad, what I made, and then all the insurances that come with it, and he said that's more than he made a lot. And anyone knows my dad, he did well, but it was different times.
Yeah.
Like, if you take what we make right now, like if you take my paycheck and what goes into the bank for us every month and put it 25 years ago, we'd be bank, we'd be good. It's just times are different.
Things have taken a wild turn, not both with like COVID and then just in general with the cost of living. And it doesn't appear to be going down any. Gas has gone down a little bit though.
It went back up. It was all the way down to like 250. It's up to like 280 again. So all you got to keep going to, what do you call it, Kroger.
Yeah, you guys most of you already know that, but if you buy your groceries at Kroger's, you can save per gallon. And like if you pay enough to save, let's say 30 cents a gallon, it's literally, if you put 17 gallons in, it's every gallon. It doesn't, everybody else knows that. I'm the last to know.
But no, you found out before me. But here's the thing about us. If you find yourself under the curly roof, right? We don't have everything. The one thing that we got is food.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll go to the store, we'll spend a lot of money. At first, when we looked at our grocery bill, and it was like, oh my God. What happened?
It says, Karen says the house she grew up in Portland, my parents bought for $12,000 and sold for $36,000 in the 70s. I just sold again. It just sold again recently for $750,000.
Especially in a place like Oregon, because 40 years ago, there wasn't a whole lot going on there. But the grocery bill. So the first couple times, Mandi and I, in the middle of 2022, we'd go to the grocery store, and then we'd get to there, and we'd be like, "Oh my God!" at our grocery bill. We don't do that anymore. It is what it is. If you can find what you want, you're going to pay a lot of money for it. But then the other thing is at Kroger, then we take the gas points, and now instead of spending $80 to fill up your tank, we're doing it for $45.
And they have another program now too that you pay for the year, and it saves you even more on gas. I got to get this crack lotion for this. Okay. Those tiny little cracks when the weather's dry. I'm gonna bring the lotion in here to show people, because
I think at some point, let me show you a couple things. I'm gonna grab our little. You're gonna wake him up. Don't wake him up. So what our chicken?
Does that make the light better?
It's good. It's good. So our little chicken that can't walk, we've got this little basket, and at first, we put him in the basket. He fought it. He would be freaked out and flapped his wings and wouldn't stay in it. So now when he's got his legs up under him and he sits in the basket, he realizes that he's upright and he's sitting there and he can preen himself and he can look around, and he's getting used to sitting in this little basket so that he can just kind of say, like if he was sitting in a nest.
He can turn his head back.
And he can turn his head back and he can sleep normal. We'll show you that in a little bit.
And he's chirping away in his sleep.
Yep, he chirps away in his sleep. The other thing is the other babies are out. They're outside. Mandi
that does look good.
So during the day, the big hens kind of watch the babies, but then at night the babies are still trying to figure out that they got to go into the.
Y'all, I lost my religion today when those babies were running up and down Sawyer helped me with 2 of them, but then that one little brown one got spooked and ran this way, ran to the neighbor's house, and I'm chasing him. I'm like, you know who I am, you little mother.
I'm the one who hatched you.
I'm like, you're running from me, and I've had you since. I bet the neighbor's like, right on.
Yeah.
Now this is what I was going to show you guys. This gold bond. It's a crack cream, cracked skin relief. Do any of you get these little, they like that, any of these like little cuts, you know, in the wintertime from having your hands in water? They hurt so bad. This thing literally, you like take this, like I said, it's made by Gold Bond, and you take it and you like kind of pack it into that little cut using that thing. Number one, it immediately feels better and it heals it in no time.
For hangnails too, I bet, right?
Hey, stitching.
Alex Glitter is here.
And then it soaks in.
Stitching is here.
Immediately feels better. Not sponsored, but get yourself some. And this, I just bought. I can't tell you whether it works or not because I just bought it.
Stitching. There's who's here in the chat, babe.
I said hi.
So at some point, we have to talk about the drama a little bit. Or I do anyway, because...
I mean, it's still drama regardless of whether she was trolling or not.
But here's the thing that I want everybody to understand. Like from my perspective, this is what, when I say this, when you watch Katie's stream, she is not just a little drunk these days. You know, like by the time she gets on there and she starts pontificating about some of the stuff that's going on in the drama community, which is...
She was flat out annoying you last night.
She was, man. I'm trying to watch the football game, first of all. I'm sitting here trying to watch the Georgia game. And Mandy's like, well, I'm sorry that this is on, but Katie's on panel. I'm going to watch this. And
she was saying that all of these people, Negs and Yob and everybody's going to lose their kids.
Right, and here's the thing.
And then she was trying to say she didn't say that.
Yeah, and
she was sat there drunk.
And she was saying things like, and I don't care. I don't have any kids, but if I had a kid, I wouldn't be on YouTube.
Get out.
Katie, stop. You know, and I'm just listening to the chat. I'm not even watching the game, and I'm like,
thank you.
And the thing is she's talking to people like she's trying to get them to think that she's not just one drink away from passing out.
But the thing, yeah, you're right about that. Then I don't know who all these players are in the foodie review community that are now, but Vidal came on and was trying to like understand what Katie was saying, and there was no understanding what she was saying because
Hussey was trying to make heads or tails of it.
She was at that point in her drinking that not only was she not making any sense, but she was going to argue with you that she was making sense.
Yeah, I saw that Exo Family. You are trying to motivate people. If y'all get a chance, go to Exo Family's post to his channel. He's a good dude.
Good stuff.
Alex says, I don't even watch Katie. It's pathetic. Here's the thing, though. Mandy used to be friends with Katie. You know, when we, the very first time we were live together was with Katie, but then it was Sally afterwards. But so Mandy kind of was friends with Katie, and then there were some things that happened where they weren't friends anymore. But so we've always kind of watched her a little bit. And she went downhill, you know, she had a channel, she had some success, and then she got her DUI. But so now she's bannovating, so she's on doing whatever. She still tries to talk to her crowd like she's on top of the world and she's the best YouTuber and she's smarter, and she starts to pontificate about stuff that's happening, serious issues, like all this CPS stuff that's going on ain't right.
Yeah, hey,
it ain't right. I don't care what side you're on or who you're against or who you're fighting with. CPS ain't right. You never should bring never should that happen. Never. I know I've had CPS called in the other one. It ain't right. But not only does she talk about it, but then she tries to make people explain, tries to explain what's going to happen in the future.
She said in 2023 they're going to take her kids. They're going to take her kids.
People are going to lose their kids.
And then someone goes,
she said in the next couple of months, next 6 months, Negs is going to lose it. Did she understand that his son is nearly 18, right? Something like that.
Well, then she tried to say she didn't say it, and everybody was like...
And I'm just listening to her going,
hey, Loretta.
What has she become, man? Even Hussey was like...
I did, Philly girl. Go ahead and come clean about whatever it is, but just know that if you're trolling, it's probably going to be deleted pretty quick. You can come clean about anything.
This was the come clean.
Katie did Moxie. And she was also at the point in her drinking last night when she was like, stop talking for a second. Bitch, you're by yourself in your garage.
And she's sitting there going, shh, shh.
Stop,
everyone
stop
be
talking
quiet.
While I'm
Everyone be quiet.
You know that point when you get to that, like, to where you're like, shh, 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 shh. And you're by yourself, Katie.
I'm wondering how many people in that chat, 300 people in there, believe her anymore. And how many people are in there like we are lurking going, oh my God, man. Oh my God.
Well, apparently later in the evening, because I didn't see it, but German Girl was one of the ones that reviewed it, and I saw it. She said that she had been intimate with Negs.
Yeah.
Whether it's true or not doesn't really matter. It matters, I'm sure, to them. But you can't get that freaking, if that's something that you've held back, and then you are, I mean, hopefully this morning when Scout, when she woke up, you know, she'd probably, whether it's true or not true, or you were trolling, you're like, oh God.
You know, her friends that she has, and she's got a close group around her, were lighting up her DMs like, girl.
Yes.
Girl. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it was aggravating to me because
I don't hate you, Philly girl.
We don't really do hate here.
I'm here and Katie is the topic. Go for it. No, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Whatever you need to say. But guys, not only yes, I still have that voicemail saved in my phone.
Which one?
When Katie called me at 3:45 and Sean was at the
I was working, and I just remember like leading up to that.
She says she sat on his face. She did.
And then
Hey, Paula.
I'm halfway thinking that she was doing it or bringing it up to rile up DC. Got to have been.
I will say DC handled it like a champ. She didn't even bring it up. So whether it's true or not true, and I guess.
Well, we're gonna bring it up because Katie, girl.
You know, if that truly happened,
that's your business, man.
Don't.
That's your business.
That's called kissing and telling, and I
don't like that at all.
Presley, thank you.
Presley,
a whole bunch of psycho channels. I asked, oh please know that I did nothing to hate her. Yeah, no, you're good.
Philly girl, you're good in here.
Let me see. So, but I know it was me that went in there and dropped it right on her. Oh, you're the one that said that I had been on set. She was pissed.
And that's the whole thing is that
thank you, Presley.
Leading up to that in Texas, you know, Savage had wanted to do something with ATX on panel and this and that. And Mandi was like, well, you know, Katie's not going to like it and this and that. And I got to be honest. I said to Mandi, fuck that. Mm-hmm. You can't. Your friends can't hold it against you that you're on panel with other people for a totally different thing. You know, it was something that was totally different.
Let me catch up. XO said, so you remember that Katie okay. She called me at 3:45 Texas time. That's what time she called me.
It's like ATX.
Thank you.
Pick up
Look
the
at
phone.
that, how pretty.
That is cool.
So she said, well, she had also made the accusation, Katie did, that's what the one I pinned, that he had stolen the Adderall out of her purse. And she said, was that before or after she sat on his face?
There's a bunch of psycho channels. Presley, thank you.
She gave Doug's props, too. She said Doug knows how to get her off immediately.
Maybe that's why she keeps him around. I mean, look, a lot of times I listen, I hear Doug, I hear whatever he's saying, trying to take care of her, and I get it, dude. But, you know, you can't take care of somebody that don't want to be taken care of. Okay.
No, but I mean, if he's learned her secret, then...
Well, she's going to keep him at arm's length and pull him in when she wants him to.
I don't see how the same thing would work every single time. Like,
well, I don't know. It's...
No, we're not going
to... Okay, moving on.
Maybe...
Yeah. I was like, but there's this one. She's like, no.
I had not been... I wasn't... And then when she started talking about it, and like I said, I saw just the clip on German Ladies. Probably they had taken the stream down. I don't know.
I'm just laughing because you're like, no. I see where you're going with this. She reads my mind, you know.
No, you're good, Philly girl. Thank you for now that you say it, I do kind of remember. But someone else would have told her anyway. It was
inevitable.
Yeah.
Mandy knew
It was
if
just
I do
quicker.
this with Savage, if I go on panel, we just didn't know it was going to happen so quick. It was like within like a couple of hours.
Yeah, she's like, how's my favorite dog napper? I know that's been clarified. I didn't steal anybody's dog.
Yo.
Let me see what Presley said. That people going down on Katie, they would need rabies shots. I don't know. I'm just thinking, and it was her before her weight loss. So, I mean, look, I'm a big girl and I've been even bigger, but did he do it when she was like 450 pounds?
We saw the picture that was posted
There you go.
at was that her sister's wedding?
Yeah.
She was a big girl, and then she showed the before and after. I mean, the surgery worked.
Yeah, it says, I believe they did it, but I don't believe she just sat on his face at 420 pounds.
No,
I have to say, and this just goes to prove that I've never literally sat on someone's face. Is that literally what it means? You straddle and just plop on their face?
Well, it's a
or is it just a
it's
term?
a saying, but you know, it kind of happens. It can kind of happen.
But that's what I mean. Like you literally just squat and bang, right there on their face.
Not at 420. Not at 420 pounds.
Like a mustache rider? A
Right,
champion
that's right.
mustache rider?
Let me clear off a place for you to sit down. That's what people say.
Earmuffs.
Yeah. Cheech said that. Remember Cheech
Hey,
and
Jesse.
Chong? He's like, let me clear up a place for you to sit down.
Oh my gosh. Not he liked that, not at 420. I mean, look, like I said, I'm a big girl and I've been bigger.
It's right, Hal. It's right. I mean, at 420,
but I was never that big.
Nobody's coming off the top rope onto someone's face there. You'd snap a neck or something like that, you know?
I heard it first thing this morning, and I was like, yes, you actually sit on the face. All of our lurkers are coming out. Okay.
Taste the Rainbow says, try it out tonight, man. It's amazing.
I'll be like,
why are you so embarrassing tonight?
I'd be like, I'm going to... No, it was because I'm serious. Like,
Yeah.
you just plop down on someone's... Foodie Beauty does it.
I mean, well, there you go. I mean,
Yeah.
Salah must have a freaking neck of steel then.
It's just like, you got to know your limit. Exactly.
Right. I mean, it's fun to rough and tumble, but you don't want to like injure each other. You know?
I'm with you guys though. I do believe at least some of it happened. The way that it was just how, because I know her when she's trolling fairly well, and when there was a few things that she said that led me to believe she was spilling some
This was way back, right? This is
the
years
song
ago.
she could have suffocated him. I mean, I'm just like, no, your big butt makes your big butt look big. That's what EXO said. EXO, you like it? He likes big butts.
It's all right, EXO.
He
Big
likes
butts
big
are good. There's a whole gang of us out here that like
Julie.
big butts.
Yeah, it was like, and then today Paula was live earlier, and when I got into the car and turned it on, I was waiting for it to go through Bluetooth, and Paula was about to go, oh, big girl, but it was so, I wasn't expecting it. It came through the stereo. So when she's like, oh, I was like, I thought someone was screaming.
What big girl? Be careful, big girl.
That's what she was. Hey, Kate, roller and flour and look for the wet spot. I've heard. I also think that she has a misinterpretation of her worth, Katie, now that she's lost weight.
Absolutely, though.
She seems to be of the mindset that because she's now a certain weight, then she says she thinks if she gets the skin removed, she'll be happy and her drinking will cut down. If that ain't an alcoholic statement, I don't. If I could just do this, I won't drink as much. If I could get this, if I could do this, if I had this. And
I think that, I mean, we were talking about this before, though, Mandy. We were talking about she's not going anywhere anymore. She doesn't have a car. Mm-hmm. So really, she turns on that camera to her people. And that's really what she has.
I think there are a few people that, there's a few people that stream that I think what they're doing now, streaming, is so that they're not alone. I think streaming all night while you're asleep has nothing to do with proving that someone's not calling you or you're not calling someone. It's because you don't want to be alone. And you think that by these people watching you sleep, somehow you're not alone. And I know it's distorted, but I think that's the way it is.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
And it's more than just one or two people. And there's a small group of them. There's a small group of people that they're highly, highly invested in what they can portray.
Yes, it starts
how they can portray themselves,
And I think that, hey, let it go. And I think that with her, you're right. She's not going to get her, even this midsection skin removal, it's not going to get approved. She thinks it is. It's not. You have to have chronic, like MRSA festering sores under that apron.
I mean, but is there surgery that can they tuck that where it looks like it's never
they'll
happened?
do a tummy tuck but for insurance to pay for it, it has to be almost a life-limiting or life-threatening thing.
Gotcha.
They don't give a shit. It doesn't look good. They don't care that whatever. You have to have infections that are so bad in underneath this. Well, they call it. Apparently, it's not a fupa because that's lower.
Well, but I mean, right. That's a fupa.
I never knew what that was till YouTube.
That's not skin flap.
They call it an apron.
Yeah, or
is
they
what
call
it's called.
or the muffin top. Something
no,
like that.
I think when it's that big, it's an apron. And like I said, I've had the surgery. I tried to get this skin removed, go for consultation. Oh, it's been, way before you. And the doctor was like, you might want to look at care credit. Your insurance will not pay. It takes years and years and years. You got to be basically like off on my 600-pound life.
But you don't really, you're not talking, I've seen you, you don't really need it.
Thank you. I heard that it is a excruciatingly painful surgery.
But I mean, compared to
a tummy tuck in general, I've heard is very
like
painful.
compared to like what Katie has showed us and stuff like that. Because occasionally do you guys ever watch, who was the guy, Obese to Beast? He was a dude that was very, very big. I'm not sure how many. And then he lost all the weight through working out and all that. He had a real inspirational YouTube channel about 5-6 years ago.
Yes, stitching.
He had the massive skin like that and was talking about how that's what he was down to.
Yes, EXO, you're right. Hold on, I'm listening to you, but I didn't want to forget my line of thought. They will also not do surgery because she won't stop smoking. And they will not put you under if you don't stop smoking. And like Stitching said, they're going to test your blood.
Yep.
And you can't, you're going to have it in your system because at this point she's got to drink to not shake or seize. So they're going to know. They're going to know.
That's horrible.
And then she said, and I can't take the pain medicine because it makes me sick. She said something about after my weight loss now that pain medicine kills my stomach. But
if you're drinking a freaking half gallon of vodka, you can't.
But that was also the thing. I was like, oh, you're going to be conscious about taking pain meds, but you're drinking a liter of vodka a day.
A lot.
All right.
A lot.
Trust me, I'm an alcoholic. I know. Thank you, Trash Panda. You're so sweet. Thank you.
Thank you, Trash Panda.
Thank you. Gosh,
you can come in here and cause trouble anytime you want.
That was very sweet.
Yeah,
Thank you. So the surgeries, she said her brother is a surgeon or something because it's called the Roby Surgery Center.
Really?
I don't know.
That's what she said.
I don't know.
The bottom line about all that is as Mandi was listening to Katie, as she was listening to Katie, and I couldn't block it out, and she was pontificating hard about CPS and kids and people that have YouTube channels that have kids and how they have to put their kids before YouTube. And I was just like, this, it was like, she's got to be trolling her. She's so drunk.
That's it. And I think that's what was kind of annoying to you was that she was so, I think it probably reminded you of old girl back when she would be real drunk.
She has literally lost everything Katie has.
No.
Everything, and continues to live stream and has lost virtually. And I'm not saying the live streaming has caused her DUI or caused her drinking, but here's somebody that literally, you mentioned all the people that she had to come up with, like Peter Mon and all those, and they're all doing great things. Rich Lux and even Yaba.
Dustin Daly.
Yeah, all of them. And she just... And she sits there
I saw that stitching.
And she's just so much smarter than everybody else and talk about how you got to prioritize your life. And I'm looking at her like, and she's about to pass out any minute.
But she'll argue that she makes sense.
Yeah.
Does kratom help with alcohol withdrawal? It doesn't help stop this. No.
No.
The only thing you have to have, they have to detox. Alcohol and benzos are the only ones that can be deadly. You'll want to die with the other ones, but the kratom won't stop the seizures. It might help like feel a little bit better, but it won't. That's why used to, you could go to a doctor and say you're an alcoholic and you wanted to quit drinking, and they'd give you a regimen of like Librium or something to take over a course of days to get off of it. They don't do that anymore. You pretty much have to go inpatient. So, yes. So, for the, like, I think she's going to die in her, I do too.
Yep.
I do too. With 5 or 7 bleeding ulcers. And the reason she gets drunk so fast is her liver is done. Her liver has quit the job. You know what I mean? Like, is done. So that is also the false comfort that people think that used to, it takes a few drinks. Look, he's getting ready. It takes a few drinks. And then all of a sudden it only takes like a couple of drinks and you're drunk. And then you think, oh, okay, well, see, I do have it under control. No, your liver is done.
Yeah.
Your liver is done.
The first time she came back on, because when she lost her channel, she was kind of gone for a while. Mm-hmm. And then she'd show back up on, with Real Creep News, dude. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden she staged a fight with them, and she just went live. She just started another channel. And that was the night where she passed out in the hot tub. Mm-hmm. And
as a matter of fact, that's a good question. Hold on, I'm going to grab this thing. Did I knock it over, Sean?
What?
I'm going to show this.
Okay, Philly girl, have a good night.
They said it was a good question. They said, don't they tell you not to drink after a gastric bypass?
She's going to get something. Let it go. Aziz was in here as, okay. Is he Rose out? No, yeah.
Look. Ooh, that hurt my finger.
He's in here. Hey, Naturally Vain.
Just cut my finger. That baby's asleep. Okay.
Okay, so
now look.
Mandy's got some.
This was my scrapbook from my surgery. I'm gonna be honest. I've gained some weight back, not all of it, but some of it. But
it's okay, Sawyer. He's okay. Sawyer's trying.
This was like May 2009. Okay, look, this is a pretty bad one. But this was, look, it was before surgery. Nothing like looking like that with a glass of wine in your hand.
Let me see. I've seen them before, but
right here.
Okay. Yep.
And this was the day of surgery. Oh wait, yeah, this was the day of surgery. And this was my sleep study, because you have to have a sleep study.
It's okay.
Sawyer, leave him alone. So that was during that. I didn't have sleep apnea. Thank you. I didn't have sleep apnea.
Sleeping, dude. He's just sleeping.
This was my first meal when they finally let me eat after surgery. That's chicken broth and 2 sugar-free Jellos. That was dinner.
And you were about to kill somebody, probably.
This was right when I came out of surgery. And this explains what a gastric bypass is and what they do. This is like progress week by week. The whole point of it is there's a page on cross addiction, but there's that, and then the outfit I was wearing got too big and I had to get rid of it, and that's when I stopped taking the pictures. Let me
look at that picture.
I know this is just, they're like pictures from the journey. And then this one is, I started tanning because, I was like, I don't know if I'm holding it at the right height.
Yeah, you are.
And then this one, I like this one too, right there. The best exercise I ever gotten was an elliptical. Then I bought one and I never used it. But
Stitching said, how much did you weigh before your surgery?
The day of surgery, it was 320.
320?
Yeah. And then this right here was, what was it? What month was it? It doesn't say. But that was probably I had the surgery in 2009. So I guess that was 2010 or so. Okay, now this is the other thing. This is where it starts talking about the cross addiction. So you see, I'm doing shots with a friend. I had a Monroe piercing at that time. And then it says, if you're already consuming alcohol prior to surgery, discuss with your surgeon about this. And then it talks about I'm not going to read that whole thing, but when you try to treat your overeating addiction with gastric bypass, you may just find yourself addicted to alcohol. Both are bad. Instead of trying to treat the symptoms, you must try and look at the rest of the problem. You must see a counselor or an expert in this field and ask to seek treatment for the addiction. Get down, sweetheart. Come over here. Okay, so it says, but according to some research findings, 5% to 20% of gastric bypass patients have been found to be addicted to alcohol. That's a lot. And that was in 2009.
What was the percentage again?
5% to 20% of gastric bypass patients have been found. And this is when in 2009, they were just starting to talk about cross addiction. You know what I mean?
It's 1 to 4 and 20.
Mm-hmm. And that's
okay,
where
Sawyer.
that's where I quit. I need to do something after that. That was the last pages when I started talking about cross addiction. But
So, I need to read the comments. Naturally Vain says, you look amazing. Even with the surgery, it still takes work to keep off the weight. Don't you dare change a thing, my gorgeous Mrs. ATX.
Aw, thank you. I've gained some back. I was 320 the day of surgery. I got all the way down to like 170. And I think now it's like 185 or 190, maybe close to 200. But
one stressed mommy's in the chat. She said, mine transferred to shopping.
That happens.
And she had a friend that died from the combination of alcohol and sleeping pills.
Thank you, Aziz. Yeah.
That's
the pain pills are another
crazy,
one. Especially since at the time of when I had it, the opioid crisis hadn't got to where they, came down on it. It was still where if you had pain and you had something an MRI showed, you could go to a pain clinic, and as long as the pain clinic maintained it and the other doctors could wash their hands of it.
When do you think that changed? About what year? Because I know even in Rhode Island, when I was first starting that relationship in like 2010, it was still plentiful.
It was
about 2015.
The Centers for Disease Control released their findings in 2016, saying that chronic pain is not successfully treated by an opioid regimen. That having it for short terms of time is okay, this is what they said. I'm not saying, your pain is your pain. But after a while, you're just treating the addiction. You're not treating the pain. And they started looking at the other medications like gabapentin and things like that, that they started looking at Toradol can work for this kind of pain. They really started saying opioids are good for end of life, and there's no regulation about end of life. They can give what they want.
If Karen said yes, end of 2015, and it went crazy in 2000. Going crazy meaning they went crazy with stopping it.
Yes, they were closing down pain clinics. They were auditing pain clinics and whether or not they were adhering to the new regulations. And if they weren't, thank you, Alex, they were shutting the doors. And these people were showing up that had been on opioids for years and years and years, and it was closed. And
that's dangerous when that happens too.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as like crime and what people are willing to do to get, in the black market that really got created. I mean, it just everything about that. I know in Sneads Ferry, North Carolina, where I lived, there was a huge, and everybody, and a lot of the kids and people that had been on opiates, they turned to heroin. That's what happened because heroin moved in. The black market was already there for it. And so everyone started on heroin.
And that's kind of what people were talking about. They were like, if you don't get these people into Suboxone clinics quickly or get them, at that point, now methadone's not really there's not as many, now it's Suboxone. Yep. So they were like, get these people on that so they can, and they weren't. So people were
They were seeking other things.
Going to heroin, then the fentanyl crisis.
Yep.
But let me tell you something. I've heard so much bullshit about this. My doctor overprescribed. Okay. And he should be held responsible for that and whatever. He didn't make you put it in your pie hole.
Right.
Right? I mean, you got to take responsibility a little bit for the fact that you kept going back and getting it.
And I think the legislation was different in each state, because I know in our situation.
That was before.
Right. And but they would give you the opioids and the Xanax same
Oh
visit.
yeah, now you can't get both.
And or opioids and, let's say, Adderall, same visit.
You can't get, if you are on any sort of
A little shopping bag full of shit.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, and they were like, there's no reason for people to be taking Xanax and opioids. It's a deadly combination.
It is.
But the doctors got away with it for a very long time. Yeah, they gave it out like crazy. It's I don't go a lot. I'm not going to go into the exact milligrams, but I've talked to some people about it. It was criminal. Now, I took it. I'm responsible for my addiction. But the amount that this doctor was giving me.
Sawyer, get down, buddy.
It was.
He's okay. He's okay.
Look at him, my little story. Anyway, that's my little soapbox spill about. But yeah, the cross addiction is very real. You can be addicted to sex. You can be addicted to shopping, alcohol, the whole thing. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Those pain clinics, the people that had the insurance that they were guaranteed a quick office visit. Let's say with TRICARE, it was about $95. That was for an office visit, which is not a lot, but that was what TRICARE paid. So you think about everybody's insurance. They're getting about 50 patients through the door a day.
Yeah.
They're double booked, they're whatever. So if you think about that, 50 patients at between 100 and 200 a pop, and then you've got a few cash pay. And
then when, like you mentioned, the Suboxone, then now they're coming to the pain clinics for that. And so there's still like a market, and they, I don't know, this is your lane, but they kind of want you to be on the Suboxone, don't they?
Oh, the pharmaceutical company's
they want you on something.
Right.
They want you on something.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely, it was criminal. And I got sober in 2012 off alcohol and knew I had no business taking pain meds. I knew that was just another whatever, but through a series of events, I decided I'd been sober for 3 years off alcohol. I could handle pain meds, and I never did drink again. But I thought, I can do this. I can successfully do this.
You said that if you were drinking at the same time, you'd have been dead.
Oh, I would have been dead. There's no way you can take as much as I was taking. And I did a couple times, I did mix it with like a benzo. If I had a primary care physician who, it's crazy. And now the laws are so different. The people with legit pain are denied it, and whether or not medically or whatever, they, short spans of time, that's what those medicines are for. But they're saying there's no reason for it to be a chronic, like if you take it
it's not
four times a day, right?
It took them how many ever years to decide that opioids are not good for long-term pain management. That's what
they're
it is.
Not. You're
even
just
in my
addicted
case,
to it.
And then they started switching people to tramadol. Tramadol they use tramadol for long-term pain management. It's a way more benign than an opioid, but it is a narcotic in there, and it's hard to get off of that too.
Yeah.
And you're not even getting high off tramadol.
Yeah, I never knew that even tramadol was a fake opioid. I had heard of people taking it, but I didn't know anything about it. I saw that in rehab, and I've said this before, tramadol is the worst withdrawal I've seen anybody go through in rehab, and there was it was tramadol. Yep.
I mean, in my life, I'm not a alcoholic or an addict. I don't have that type of personality either. Like when I wanted to stop smoking, I just stopped. When I wanted to stop drinking, I just stopped. And I'm saying that only to say that I needed help to get off tramadol. And it wasn't even making me high. I would just get sick if I didn't take it. And I was active duty. I was in brigade combat teams, and they would give you these big old pills, of tramadol. And, I was operational, man. I was functional.
Yeah.
But it didn't and it was only on weeks where I felt good. I just wouldn't take it. And after a couple days, I'd start getting really, really sick. And then realized that it too is addicting. And I got help, and I did not have to go to rehab or anything, but I got a little outpatient, like gabapentin, and they kind of
tapered it.
Yeah, and then they tapered it off, and I was able to do that. But I was really mad because I had never been able to just not stop doing something when I wanted to.
Yeah.
Cigarettes. I mean, I've heard people can't stop smoking. I just stopped and stopped. And it sucked a little, but it wasn't that hard. So it's fortunate that I'm like
because
that.
you were having your first daughter.
Right. When Jessica was and I didn't stop completely. I would smoke socially, but I stopped.
I can't imagine you smoking.
And I, but I didn't. The main thing is I stopped having packs like in my stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't go to the store and buy cigarettes anymore. And I did it because and because Jessica, she's a smoker, but whenever she got pregnant, she stopped all 3
Presley,
times.
thank you again.
Thank you, Presley. We love you. She stopped all 3 times. So I stopped. The perplexing thing is she went back to smoking. I just didn't.
Yeah.
I just didn't. So.
Yeah. That's what the thing about a mother's body can do amazing things and overcome things that you wouldn't think in order to protect the baby. It's amazing how that things that are impossible sometimes are done.
Stitching Girl said Tramadol was boring after my gallbladder surgery. It is boring. All I knew is
and it doesn't do anything if you've got a tolerance.
Is, so I have a bad back, and I didn't want to take opioids because I was, in the Army and Brigade Combat Team. So they gave me Tramadol, and Tramadol allowed me. It was like aspirin. It was like Voltaren gel to me. It did what it was supposed to do. The other thing it did is it works for anxiety. So it was like this super drug. It was like you take your Tramadol, you feel good, you have no pain, and you're not anxious about anything. So you can really operate when you need to. When I mean operate, I mean like in the field, on the ranges and things like that. And then it started to be, even when I got like a little anxious about something or I was stressed, I'd take, 100 milligrams of Tramadol and it would fix it. And I felt normal. Never did it make me high. Oh boy, try coming off of that though. After taking about 600 or 700 milligrams a day for 7 years. Yeah. It was hard.
Alex Glitter, you're exactly right. It says addiction is important to talk about. So many people deal with it or have a family. Suboxone or methadone is better than using and managed by doctors. Yeah, I mean, as long as a doctor oversees it, like for some people, methadone, I guess heroin and this fentanyl epidemic, methadone is what they're using for that because Suboxone doesn't work quite as well as it does for the synthetic opioids. But, yeah. Do you hear him? He's sleeping. He's just tarping away.
I wonder can you guys hear that chirping?
Can you hear him in the background?
He's right over here. He's in his little...
I can put the camera over there. I'm going to do this
You can take the whole little thing and show him.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the whole little
once
thing.
Once he got used to this, now you can see what he's doing.
That's his little... He's a little bit more weight. Mm-hmm. So those of you who know this, he can't...
Hey, birdie.
We're going to take him out now. He can't... He's starting to get stronger where he pushes his way out of this. But like Sean was saying, he can sleep.
Down. There you go. Hey, you.
He's so much more comfortable sitting like that instead of laying down. So, trust me, I've been talking to bird experts and chicken experts, and they're saying if he's eating and drinking, you can work with him and rehab him till
he's trying to snuggle his head down in there. He doesn't want to be.
We'll take him out. He eats like a champ. So, that's our little guy. Some people think it's horrible that we're taking care of him, but I'm like, what are we supposed to do? We're responsible for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like I said, when we first put him in there, he would freak out and flap and push out of it. But once he understood that he could kind of curl up like a bird, and kind of put his legs under him, and now he can preen himself, he can clean himself, and he kind of likes being in there.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. There's one more thing I want to talk to y'all about. And I can't show you the picture because it's on my phone. I could text it to him. I showed Karen this picture. Okay, so there was it talking about CPS and people calling, and I didn't call on this either, but there was she was probably about 9 to 10 months old. at Walmart in the basket cart. She was being pushed. Her mom had like brown hair at the ends, and then the top part was bleached. Do you know? So did the baby. That
pissed Mandy off.
She had the baby had like the little hair that the baby had little ends were brown and had been bleached at the top. Now, bleached is the term. I mean, of course, could have been, probably was hair bleach, but when we talk about calling CPS and what's grounds for that, it's like, can you bleach your baby's hair? I know sometimes they've had CPS got involved with parents.
And the kid was like 2, right?
No, she was like 10 or 11 months old.
Really? Yes. I wasn't there. Mandy sent me a picture of it.
I took a picture and I couldn't even get as clear as I wanted to. But I was like, I'm going to ask my YouTube peeps if they think that, and someone here is probably lurking that knows whether or not it's it.
Yeah.
The baby was happy. She was well fed. She was well taken. She was whatever. But she had her mama's same hairstyle with bleached top part and brown ends. So I was like, yeah, so people are saying that's wrong. You're off to bed, Jude. Have a good night.
Good night, Jude.
You have a fantastic night. Way too long. Right. I showed Karen, you never color your hair till you need to, especially not your babies.
Yeah.
It's right. So I'm hearing people say it's terrible. It's one of those things I've never contemplated till I saw it.
Yeah,
I bleached my son's hair. He did a little buzz when he was like 8.
Yeah.
And then we bleached it so when it grew out,
but this mother did it to like her hair and
to
the
match
baby's
her
to
baby's
match
hair. Yeah. So they had a thing. That's way too young. That's what Alex says. It was a baby. If I were to put a little something over the actual features, you could see it. I could post it and see it. But then, Lord, someone would track it down and they'd say ATX done called the popo on the baby, and
it ain't worth it.
No, but that's what I don't know if it like, because you think about it. When they bleach mine, when they bleach mine to do, because it's 2 minutes till bedtime, so Scout says he's going to start tearing it up.
Well, actually, Sawyer went after him. Come here.
I don't think, when they bleach my things for my highlights, there's not a smell necessarily. You're right, though. It can get through, even pregnant women, like she's saying, don't do it because it can get into their system or whatever. I was like, just when I thought I'd seen it all. But the baby was obviously well fed. The mother was pushing it. The grandmother was there as well. And they were discussing how to maximize their food stamps. Not even kidding. That's what they were talking about. And I'm not judging. I'm just saying they were like, I'm going to buy the meat and the shrimp with my EBT. And then I'm going to go they said the noodles are cheap. We're going to get the noodles with this. And I'm like.
So that's kind of cool. At least they were trying to, doing the right thing that way, trying to make ends meet or whatever.
And here's me going down the same aisle that they're on, trying to get you. I can't hold it right. Like, I'm like, and there's also
she's trying to be little
there's a light that I
think
think you can get busted because if you turn the camera on, hold on, let me turn around the other way. Usually in there a lot, if you do video.
You can
usually a light that
sometimes it'll come on if you hit video and it needs to do it.
Okay. I thought a light came on to show that you were about to get your picture made or whatever, but maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, that was the other thing that I was like, I'm gonna tell these people.
Okay, so let's see, get in there. Go photo.
We're taking selfies. It's a good picture, isn't it? What I'm gonna do though, I'm going to take this and work with it to go the other way. But I think we've almost mastered it, guys.
Toon Cat. I didn't see you come in, Toon Cat.
She's been in
and Sheldon's here.
For a minute.
Yay. I'm seeing some faces tonight that we just haven't seen in a minute. And it's cool that you guys are here.
Rose is Aziz. Did you see Let It Go? Get him again. Let It Go. I'm like, Aziz, Let It Go is going to go for you.
I mean, here's Aziz's problem too. Whatever. It's not a problem, but he comes in and then when people start saying chill out or they start picking at him, he starts saying stuff back.
I don't think he does he?
Yeah, I think he's doing it. I mean, he's being cute, but he's being like overly. They're going back and forth.
I think Aziz is probably someone completely. I'm gonna grab my tea real quick.
I don't know because
He likes to talk sports, and Sean, that's like, Sean loves him some sports too.
I think he knows way too much about soccer to be somebody else, just to be a troll.
We'll wrap it up in a second, Scout, so I can put you to bed.
Yeah, our animals start to act crazy at about 9 o'clock.
Let me get that.
Anyway,
Get my tea,
Mandy was watching the stream, and I was watching football, and because really, if you find yourself starting to listen to Katie and be like, all right, she's been in the DC for a while, and she starts pontificating, and you're going, well, maybe that makes sense, or this or that, and then you got to just bring yourself back to your senses and go, she is snockered. She's freaking smashed. She's not even going to remember anything that she's saying, and you can't really give it any credibility. And her saying she's coming off the top rope, onto Neggs' face and all that. It's kind of like, come on, Katie.
And she thinks that she's.
I think she
thinks she's she's in her black wig and her cowboy
She's
hat,
with her freaking Axl Rose hat on.
thinking that she is a sex kitten.
And she's just.
It's gross.
Smashed. I mean, just the very. Whoever, man, woman, whatever. It is not sexy to be that fucked up. To me.
Well, and this is what I've always said, and people, if you like to just have an intelligent discussion with a drunk who's actively drinking, go get a toddler and ask them to explain to you how to solve the national debt. And that's about the same conversation that you're going to get.
That's true.
Argue with a toddler. If you think, argue with a toddler about bedtime, and you've got...
So with her being, they say that, children... spandex pants and drunk people tell the truth. So that's where
I never heard that.
That's where I think there's a little bit of truth of what Katie's saying about her and Neggs, but I also think that she's doing that to rile up DC. Has to.
Probably.
Has to. I mean, there's no way that she would go. There was no reason for her to go down memory lane and segue into that like that. You know what I'm saying?
She talks about the old her, how disgusting it was, how awful she looked. I think she was much more alluring and had a lot more sex appeal when she was bigger. She says she didn't have any confidence in whatever. She did.
But so she's saying she has more confidence now.
She talks about the old her like it's a freaking it's like, no, it's still you. It's just less fat you. It's not a different person.
Well, it's the less destructive alcoholic you too. When she actually knew how to take her show and build it. She doesn't anymore. She's lost it all. The one thing she was saying, if you remember, Mandy, when she was talking about, people don't understand that when you get on YouTube, especially in the drama communities, you have like 15 minutes of fame. You do. And it's not a literal 15 minutes, but it says you can build your channel if you're good, you're charismatic, you can get to it, but it's not going to last forever. It's not going to last. You're not going to make a fortune, and you have a shelf life. And that was true. That was true. I think that's true.
It is true. It's sad. It's sad because her paranoia with being betrayed is just that. It's a paranoia. And she limits the quality friendships that she could have because she's so paranoid of being betrayed. You need a friend that's going to be real with you, not nasty with you, but be real with you. Not one that's going to kiss your ass and pay your rent. That's fine as far as it goes.
But you can't have the issues that when somebody goes on a live stream or somebody else that you just shit can the whole friendship. Like Katie would always say, loyalty is royalty. But then, she was asking for absolute, like nobody could go anywhere else that she didn't like. And that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
It's sad, but when she really started arguing yesterday, that was when we tuned out. So I didn't know about the part when
arguing with herself.
With herself.
With herself.
Well, and the one that came up on panel who said, I must not be as drunk as you are because you're not making any sense. And thank you.
That's,
You know what I mean? But yes, drama has a shelf life.
It does. Alex Glitter was like, she's like, yeah, it does. And Alex is a close friend of somebody else that's got a decent YouTube channel. is ebbs and flows with that. Sometimes they're going to be it. They're going to be the most relevant person, and they're going to get views. But they have to figure out a way to keep it there,
Yeah.
especially when the haters
Yes,
creep
Alex, arguing with herself.
in. You know, yeah, she was arguing with
With
herself.
herself.
You know, it's just there's always going to be someone that's a bigger train wreck, or somebody that's drama is more, you know, dramatic than what
Yes.
one person's doing. People are going to go watch that.
Someone sent her a beautiful backdrop today, and she said it was ugly and she'd rather have had the money. I was flabbergasted.
See,
I mean,
but people stay.
they like, and then other people will try to talk like she does. You know how when she demands money and says, no, that ain't nothing, give me more, and somehow she gets away with it or she doesn't. Then other people try it and they just look like ungrateful bastards.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like somehow she can get away with it, although she doesn't.
Back, 3 years ago, Katie could take her channel and go on there and go, okay, come on, you fuckers. You're going to send me money for this. You're going to pay up. And they would.
Yep.
And they would.
They would.
I honestly never had seen any other person be able to do that.
She was
like
able.
that.
I think we even sent money.
I mean,
but we
like,
sent,
oh my God, she's asking for money. Do we have it? Can we super chat real
when
quick?
we first got together. She was like she was happy for us,
Right.
and we went on the stream, and that was when she and I talked a little bit. Oh boy, did it go wrong?
It went wrong simply because you went on panel with somebody that she was beefing with. And it's just like. And you told me it would. You said if I go do this, this is what's going to happen. And it was like, you got to do you. You can't let any person, hamstring where you go.
I was not prepared for the voice, and it's still saved on my phone.
I mean, and the thing,
it's bad, you guys. She was like, you got 30 seconds to fucking call me
at
back.
3:30 in the damn morning. And I remember I knew that she was going to get upset. How quickly. It was like within like 2 or 3 hours of you being on the panel or something like that. It was that night.
Mm-hmm. It's whatever.
It's whatever.
People say arch enemies or whatever. I heard that the other day when Hussey said, who is this ATX bitch? And someone in the chat goes, it's Sam's arch rival. And I've made me think of us having masks on our faces.
Yeah, it really isn't that deep.
But it was funny. They could have said, she is a bitch from hell.
And they just said,
because I was prepared. I was like,
enemy.
I was like, oh God, what are they going to say? I'm a big girl. Yeah. I can handle it. I can handle it.
and I, Mandi can. I mean, there's.
It's not fun to hear sometimes.
Yeah, but I remember when we first got together, she was like, you'd be like, I'm dragging this, blah blah blah, and then you can only do drama so intense for so long, and you start to bottom out, and then people freaking, they tap out in all different ways. The thing with since I've been with Mandi is this is just like water off a duck's back to her now, and that's beautiful.
Yeah, it doesn't.
That's beautiful. It's like they can't hurt you.
No,
I've
been called everything. I've been accused of everything,
and it pisses them off that it doesn't. You win. No response is a very strong response.
Well, if you call a grown ass woman stink box, and that's your go-to, ooh, I'm making it shaky. That's your go-to insult. I can't do anything with that. You know, all right, go ahead. I'm a stink box. You don't know anything about it.
It's okay.
I'll be a stink box.
And it's like, this type of drama is not real life. Unfortunately, for them and for other people, some people have decided to go real life with each other. Then, then the regular YouTube drama it's just drama.
And it was all the other communities, kind of when we start merging and stuff, is like nobody was going real life until the damn drama community merged with us.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if that's true or not, but they said that is a particular trademark of the drama community, is going real life on people.
I have drama community in my bio, OG drama community in my bio, and I'm like, yeah, I'm OG drama community, and I start looking around, and people don't like the DC. Mm-hmm. They don't like it. It's like don't. They don't want to
claim that they tango with us.
Yeah, or they don't just like us. They think if we came from the drama community, we're messed up.
Well,
and there's a lot of people are. I mean, they're kind of right.
Well, you have to. All of us on here, especially the people that go on camera, we're all just a little bit off, or we wouldn't be doing this, right?
The funny thing is, there's I know, and even with everything that's going on, Sam said, this is not ATX. ATX doesn't.
Well,
go
I don't go real. Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't
make
go.
a phone
And it's
call.
the truth. She doesn't.
It's the only reason I started trolling people. Like, yeah. Alice, I saw you earlier talking about Alice, Stitching Girl. If you have not already, I've asked for this girl is actually interesting to watch. She's crazy. Everyone will put more wood on the fire. We lost our fire.
Yeah, I had a nice fire going. Mandy had to change out of her hoodie and put on. I mean, it's 44 degrees outside and the window's open because.
Is it 34 or 44?
It's 44 right now.
Okay. Yes, there you go. She just put it there. Okay, she is an interesting looking critter. She does think that Elon Musk is in a lot of the her stories are good. Anytime there's lights, and I think this is pretty common with schizophrenic, any lights like in the house behind her, she goes out there and starts filming the lights in the house behind her, saying they're spying on her and shit like that. And
that's the one who does the cigarette, right?
Yeah, but she's so like when she gets herself, she's got different looks.
That's what
and when she talks, it may all be bullshit.
So the first thing people see is a thumbnail, right? And they see the look. They see what people look like. And that'll give the first look. So if they open it up and you've got the, what do you call it? The delivery, people will keep watching.
Yeah.
For a while longer until,
Yeah, there's certain people I like how they talk. And I'll watch them. The content's not really that important as it is. I just like watching how they talk. Now, yesterday, part of why we listened to Katie for longer, I wasn't even really listening to what she said. I was marveling at that she had gotten her, she was like, in her tank top, and she was big shit, big shit in the garage. And then I'm looking at it going, well, I guess that, and I'm like, so I was like, is she trolling with the wig and the hat? Or is she not? I mean,
when she was sitting there saying, we've got a hot tub here, we got to swim, I'll invite people over. It's like,
yeah, she invited 60 people to come visit.
She's sitting in a chair. It looks like she's about to be interrogated. Where you see the scene where the room is like empty and there's a single chair and there's someone sitting in it and they're nodding their head back and forth. And it's like, can she not go inside and stream? I mean,
she didn't want to smoke inside.
I got you. All right. Since if you're going to smoke 2 packs a day, you might as well do it out in the garage.
Yeah. Well, it's sad. I think everybody that wakes up tomorrow morning has a chance to get sober and has a chance to be better. I think anybody, if you're on the right side of the ground, you have a chance. It's hard with her because she's so stubborn and she's in such denial about how bad it is. But it only takes one moment of clarity, one prayer of hitting your knees and saying, I can't do it anymore.
Or rock bottom. Something is a rock bottom, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I follow on Instagram since I'm married and the love of my life made it through her journey to be with me.
Yeah.
She's here with me now. And sometimes I listen to her stories and I'm grateful that she chose her life. But, so like on Instagram, My Sober Signs is on Instagram. I
like that.
That's the name of the channel. It's called My Sober Signs, and it's just people that check in with a sign. I'm 6 months sober. Even if I'm 30 days sober.
Yeah.
And so there's that, and then there's another one called Life After Alcohol, something like that. There's a couple of them, and I tune into them because my wife. Yeah. The education that she's given me. So I do that.
I think also it's the most rewarding thing, but getting sober is probably one of the harder things you'll ever do. But it's not, it's because we're our own worst enemy. It's not that it's incredibly, we have to get past the whole mentality that we have that someday we'll be able to control our drinking. That someday, if we go 2 years without drinking and then we'll be able to, you have to crush that. And how you do it is different from person to person.
I mean, it's like, I guess you would have to go through a phase where you can see that person can control it or this person can, why can't I, or I can too.
Oh, Lord, Stitching.
Isn't that true?
Yes.
I mean, if you're sitting in a room full of people that can drink and be social and it's okay, but you can't. That's
One of
that's
the-
what I can't relate to. That's what I can't. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause-
One of the most marvelous things that I say, and people can argue it if they, because I'm not, this is, people that aren't alcoholics don't have to sit there and figure out how to control their drinking.
Yeah.
Right? They don't have to make a chart. They don't have to limit. They don't have to.
When I was taking
It's non-thing.
When I was taking my tramadol, it was aggravating because I would drink socially, and it was like, okay, I can't drink now because I took, my tramadol, so maybe can I drink at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock? And then I thought to myself, well, if I just don't drink, then I won't have to worry about all that in my head, and that would probably go against everything that.
Yeah, an addict and an alcoholic doesn't give a
They're
shit
going to
about.
try to figure that out.
No, I'm not going to time it. I'm going to take it together.
Right, exactly.
I don't give a shit. Like, when they say, let it go, says we're frozen, but I don't think we are.
Well,
Let us know if we are. Yeah, I don't, well, that threw me off because I don't know if we're frozen or not.
I don't think we are. No one else said it.
We are going to go, though.
Yeah.
We're going to put the chicken, you know how it's a 3-ring circus when it gets to be about this time.
Yep. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I mean,
It was a good conversation.
It seems like every time we've been coming on for the last, few days, we're seeing more and more people that we haven't seen for a while. And that's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
So I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you to Presley and to
Panda.
Trash Panda for the super chats tonight. They never, ever go. We never take them for granted. Never.
And thank you for the fascinating conversation. And I'm not even joking.
Yep.
Y'all always bring the good conversation and laugh or whatever. And really with Katie, who she is now is not who she is.
Right.
This is not who she is. Who she really is, I don't know.
The first few times I saw
her.
the first few times I saw Katie 6 years ago, she was a good YouTuber. I mean, she really was. And she was building a little something, and it got sidetracked. So I know there's a lot of people out there that miss her, the old her. But she's got to make those decisions herself.
She's her path to walk, whatever that means.
Hey, Tragic just said,
Hey, Tragic.
Yep. We're just
signing
signing off,
It's
but
good to see you in here, though.
Yep.
We'll be back tomorrow.
Yep. Watch
Georgia crushed them.
It's a great day to be a Georgia Bulldog, 2-time national champion.
She drinks just a bit too much. Woo! Yeah. Anyway, bye. Y'all have a good night.